Welcome back to M Hood Fishing. Looks like we're going to be reading some postcards and catching some fish here real quick. I'll explain more of what's going on this session. Look at that, dark clouds over there. Yeah, you're right, this is a pickup session is what it is. Calling this a pickup session after a fashion. Calling it after a pickup band. You know what a pickup band is? That is a band you throw together at the last minute to go do a gig. So yes, throwing this together at the last minute because the main session tonight, the planned one, could possibly come to nothing, could get rained off. That's what's up. We might get there and it starts raining and we can't get going. We might get there, catch nothing, and then it starts raining and then we got to get going. So let's get going on this pickup session. There's very little time actually. We might have to cover some ground. Well, let's go to the closest spot. 23 and me, not always a good thing. 23 is this highway. We have arrived. This is where you learn patience, focus. Focus and patience. Yes, apart they are. If you don't learn patience and focus, you end up pulling out the knife and there's line, cut line all over the floor. Check that out. Can you see that? It looks like a square Aberdeen. It got bent up last night getting it out of a fish. I think it'll still catch because we don't have we almost don't have enough time to put a new hook on. We're back to back. We're cutting it close. You get what's up, right? Since there's very little time to get this done before we head off to the next session, we're doing the easiest, simplest thing, kind of like last night. Hopefully it works out better as far as like catching bait. We could definitely use the bait on the next session. This was a size 6 Aberdeen. I'm sure it still is, but it's slightly bent up. Been there, done that. I know that we'll catch still, even though it's an odd shape. Sometimes it happens. It'd be a waste of a hook going to a new one right now because I know it'll still catch. At least it's not a sick green, right? It's kind of brown. We haven't had quite a bit of rain. We've had bits and pieces here and there, but the ground is still super dry everywhere. We're still under a statewide burn ban, red flag situation. Got wildfires in certain parts of Louisiana right now. There is a lot of bait activity. Those are probably mosquito fish. Did you see that down there? Something spooking the heck out of them. I haven't actually been to this spot in a bit of time, right? This little place where I used to stand is worn away. It's different. It's not as substantial, but we'll still perch here. Yeah, see all this bait right here? Those are probably mosquito fish. You know, it's a type of molly. We're gonna put that right there. It smells like lighter fluid down here for some reason. We're getting a bite. We got a fish. Oh, little guard. Did you take my bait? Yep. There's a fair amount of activity right here in this bend of the ditch because of the large amount of little bait fish. Can't tell you if it's more than just spotted garb, but I can tell you there's an awful large amount of spotted gar hitting them. Oh, that's a decent size. It's not the biggest turtle I've ever had on, but oh wow, something running through here, spooking and moving water. Oh wow, that is a cool looking turtle. The pattern, the way some of it's covered in algae and then what's exposed is pretty cool. It's cool how it's partially covered in, yeah, it's just interesting. Oh, and there it goes. Time to change tactics. This is where that bit of patience you learned earlier comes into play. Everything's tangled. My patience rewarded me with a job well done. Did not cut the line. And now Mother Nature is throwing a bit of shade my way, which is greatly appreciated. I was beginning to feel like the frog frying in the pan. That is a drop shot rig that I tied up a good ways ago. A little bit of weight there. So yeah, we're headed right there. The results might be the same. A gar, a turtle, you never know. And then we'll get to postcards, but yep, just a pickup session in the hot sun. It's not that bad though. It's only in the low 90s, hovering around 90. You see it? You see it? We've got the rod just sitting on the tote, and at the moment there's something gently hitting it. You can gently see the rod tip. See it? And we're gonna just like see what's up. That's what we're gonna do. Just kind of do that. Oh, wow, whatever it was, it came off. We still have all our suitable tackle in its suitable form. Nothing bent, right? Yep. Let's go back down there. Running out of time, but we will shoot for something. Boom, it's in the water. It's currently 4:41, and there's another recall alert. Probably something that never touches my reality again. We got to meet up with some folks around 7:30, possibly 8 o'clock. Need time to edit, eat, let dogs pee, let dogs poop, let dogs be dogs. Not to mention the reading of the postcards. Oh, second chance here. You see that? Boom, boom. I was thinking I would give this to 5 because I just told you it's 4:41. So this time we're just going to watch the rod tip and see if we can get that fish seriously involved. He's with us, whatever it is. I don't think it's a turtle quite yet, because it's not. Turtles are usually like, they grab and they go full on. Oh, the chickens have woken up. You hear them clucking out there? Let's see if, yeah. Oh, same thing. Maybe it's a gar. Put a little more bait on there, go for a third chance. It might be that the only thing back here right now, because of the water temps being so hot, is spotted gar and other little things like the mollies we saw earlier, and turtles and little baby alligators, because we did see one. Saw a little tiny baby alligator earlier. But everything's on the table. This is a video, even if I don't really catch fish. I mean, I'm banging into something here, but yeah, this is pretty much what a pickup session when you're going to shoot the tiniest fan mail video in the world looks like. You come out real fast, you try to get it done because you have very little time, and then you go and you read someone else's writing. But this time they are cool looking postcards. I am a fan of mail art, and I would categorize this as mail art. So I'm looking forward to it, regardless of catching fish on this session, because this is not my only session today. This just might be my first. If everything goes well and the weather's not as bad as they say it's going to be, this is the first of 3 sessions, because we're going to do the second one after this, and then possibly a third. But It's looking like we're probably going to be able to get 2 sessions in. This one early afternoon, and then one for the late afternoon, and then maybe a third for tomorrow morning. But the weather's not looking good. It's not the end of the world if I don't catch bait on this session, because I actually have a plan for bait. I'm mostly going to be fishing for cracked crab. It gives it away, right? Gives you a hint of where or what. But I promise it's not what you're thinking. It might be, but you'll be surprised. Yeah, you're right. So I got to get home and drop a catfish. I have a hardhead in the freezer that I meant to drop before leaving for this. So we need to drop that to thaw. That will be my crab bait, along with mullet that I could possibly catch at the location I'm going to. It's a location I have not been to in almost a year. So something different. Just took a close look at the latest recall. It's for cars with trunk issues that people could get trapped in. I don't have that issue with the rubber ducky attractor. That's because I'm all about liberty and rubber duckies. If you're part of the folks with the inside knowledge, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And don't you worry if you're not, because with time you will be. With time, my strange words will be revealed. With time. Yeah, you're right. Speaking of time, it is now 5. I need to get this show on the road because things have to be packed, things have to be thawed, dogs have to be walked. I need a cup of coffee, a chicken sandwich, maybe some other things. These clouds look menacing, but they also look like they're staying away. Stay north. Whew. The dogs and I just got back into the house. This Welsh shirt, one of my favorite shirts. Wales, it says, the land of dragons, right? That's why there's a dragon here. I have some Welsh blood in me. This shirt, anyway, is soaked from that short session I just did and that little dog walk. Yeah, you're right. Let's try this. So this is a canned coffee that I've never tried. La Colombe, something like that. Anyway, pumpkin spice latte. I don't always go for the pumpkin spice latte. Definitely don't hate it. We're trying to invoke fall. We're trying to beckon fall because it's September. So we're opening a can of pumpkin spice latte to get this new season rolling. It's not really here yet. It's hot out there still. That is almost disgusting. I'm gonna drink it though. Much better now. First initial taste was like, ugh, kind of, it's a little bitter, but it has a little underlying sweetness to it, right? Yeah. Damn it, I got 2 of those. Shoot. Oh, really doing it to myself today. Let's check out these postcards. Awesome, huh? Pretty cool looking. Sorry for the glare there. I had these over at one of my workstations. That was my circuit bending, soldering, and other things workstation. So tie rigs over there and stuff. But let's check them out and see if we can get a better view without the glare. Look at that one. That's a dude's face, and he's holding, the hands don't look proportionate to his face, which is interesting sometimes when things aren't proportionated. Holding beakers, and there's a man in one and a woman in another. Pretty cool looking. All right, before we get into what's written on the back, these are both from the same person, by the way. Let's look at the second one here. Look at that. Pretty cool. So this is really interesting. It has like a James Bond in space kind of feel to it. Remember how James Bond openings start with he's inside like a Spengali tunnel. This looks like he's inside something that's alive, right? And then there's the rocket ship in the back, and he's got the old spaceman gear on, the aeration gear, the little fishbowl over the head. Yeah, it looks like he's inside something's mouth or something. It's just really strange in there. All right, these are gonna go over here where like Christmas cards and other things go. All right, who are these from? Actually, I think they're from the same person. One says, from our friends at Dream Big Productions, Plush Bat Fan, August 22, 2023. You could have guessed, right? All right, so that's all it says on the first one with the beaker people. Yeah, you're right. And then the second one, here we go. Here's a special space astronaut themed postcard for yours to keep as souvenir from Dream Big Production, Plush Bat Fan. Yes, sir. Yeah, you're right. Awesome. I really dig these. Like I've said before, I really like getting mail art. It used to be a hobby of mine when I lived in New York when I was much younger than I am now. It was like starting in my late teens and all through my 20s. I would make mail art and send it to random people. Not really random people. It wasn't like I was just opening a phone book. I was always really into independent comic books, and I would send mail art to the people who had to do with those comic books, like the editors and other people, the writers and artists and stuff. Just random people, really, but they were involved in things that I liked, you know, comic books that I read and stuff and collected and sold, because that's what I did for a living for a while. Sold comic books on the street in New York. Yeah, you're right. So highly appreciated. Now, these are just, you know, postcards that you buy at a store, but they're not all run-of-the-mill, right? These are pretty unique, so I'm very happy to have received these, and they will be cherished and not quite on the refrigerator. They will probably stay in here. Maybe at some point they will be on a refrigerator, but let's keep them in a better environment in the bedroom. Yeah, you're right. Office, whatever you want to call this, like the headquarters of M. Hood, the command center, as it is, where he sleeps and farts and rips things apart and creates menace in fishing videos. Yeah, you're right. And here's what that looks like. This is where they will live. There's one more thing I wanted to share with you today. So today I woke up and I wanted to try some new things. You know, I wanted to, instead of getting energy drinks, I wanted to get some canned coffee. So I didn't just get this brand, but I did get two of them. And it's not a big winner, but like I said, that first taste was like, oh goodness, this is almost disgusting. I got something else that has totally blown me away and changed my outlook, at least for the day. I've got it right up here. It's not the hazelnut spread. Cinnamon Toast Crunch spread. Dave's Bread. I actually like this company a lot. I don't get it very often because it's not cheap. This loaf of raisin bread cost like almost $7, but it's my favorite. So once in a while I will treat myself, right? Who said you can't load a toaster with one hand? While we're waiting for the pop up to pop up, this is the other drinks that I got. You know tea? It's a bubble tea, but this is sea salt coffee, and it's got tapioca pearls in it. I've had this before. Some people are like, ugh, that's disgusting. It's not as bad as you think. This is actually good, but I've not had this flavor before, so I'm looking forward to try that. Bubble tea is something that's very popular in Japan, but people here in this country like it as well. This is cold brew, high brew coffee, double espresso. Got that. And of course, another one of the almost disgusting pumpkin spice lattes. You just got to get it over with, like pulling a band-aid off. It might not work. It might not bring fall any closer to us. And I realize these carrots aren't very pretty looking, but yeah. It popped up and I didn't have the camera on. I wanted to capture that sound, but it's not the end of the world. Here we go. Check that out. But that's not what we're here for in the kitchen, right? I know this is a long video without any fish in it. Chalk it up to a day of the life, a day in the life of Mr. Hood. So pickup video, pickup session. So as you see, it might be called Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it is smooth and creamy. And I'm not going to put a lot on because this jar, I think, cost me under $4. So that's a bit much for a little jar or something. And it is rich, so you don't need a lot unless you just want to overdo it. I think a lot of us know what's up, know like why you might want this or when you might want this, because as adults, when is it that we crave this cereal at all? What's up with that? So if you know, you know what this is about. Yeah, you're right. There we go. It looks like blonde peanut butter, don't it? Let me tell you, it's not peanut butter. So yeah, you're right. It's late at night. You're sitting there watching Prime. You're spacing out on some anime made in the abyss without the subtitles, so you don't know what they're saying, and you get a craving for Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but you're like, I'd like to just put it on some bread. Is that going to be what this is? It's a lot better than just making a white bread, butter, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch sandwich, but that's pretty good too. So this tastes like cinnamon, and it's got honey and a bunch of other things, but you really taste honey and cinnamon. And it goes really good on this raisin bread, which does not have cinnamon in it, I don't believe. You know, like there are raisin breads out there that have a swirl of cinnamon in them. This one doesn't. This is more all natural. I like this one because it don't have corn syrup or fructose in it or any other things. It's more, you know, it's better for you, healthy and thicker. Oh, wow, that's a lot better if you eat something like that first and then follow it down with this. Yeah, maybe this needs a little more sugar in it, or maybe not. It's just, it's got some bitterness to that spice. But yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, and I will see you next time.